Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name of the one true God, and Yahweh Shai is the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. And I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Alright, so this lesson is going to be about the people that I see who are packing these churches and praying, for salvation and things of that nature, but they're doing it in the names of the gods and things of that nature, and they truly believe that they're calling on the true Savior for them, and they want the Lord to come back, and for righteous reasons. Some of them, they're tired of the wickedness also. The scriptures say when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So the people are mourning, so they are hoping for a savior because they're tired of the way the world is being ran also. So, in some type of form, they really do want the Lord to come back, but they don't understand that they themselves are really going to get really what they're going to get is a surprise, because they're not in good standings with the Lord, and the Lord you either had a shot at salvation because you really didn't, or you never could get salvation because salvation is only for the Israelites. You got to be from the nation of Israel. Everybody else is a heathen, and they're going into captivity. You got Israelites who are worshiping a different God, but at the same time, they crack open the Bible and they basically teach the scriptures wrong, completely wrong. They butcher scriptures. All right, their doctrine is filthy, and it's all over the place. All right, ever learning but never coming into the true knowledge. So they're teaching things that are contrary to salvation, and they think they're on the right path, but they're on the wrong path. All right, and the Lord's not dealing with them. Amos 5:18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. All right. So the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. All right. They're going to tell you that when the Lord comes back, everything's going to be okay, and that we'll get into heaven, and there'll be no more evil, there'll be no more this, but they won't tell you the correct path to walk. Like you could be in a race, right? A car race, NASCAR. But if your car is backwards and everybody else is forward, you're racing wrong. You're doing it wrong. That's kind of like how Christianity is. Christianity, has the Bible, got a bunch of churches, they make a lot of money, but on the inside of it, it's all wrong. Kind of like that example of the race. NASCAR race. You got a car, you got the model of the car. The outside looks pretty, it's fresh, it's clean, the tires are perfect, everything, but it has no engine. It ain't gonna move. That's kind of like how Christianity is. They dress it up to look like it's right, but it really won't run. It runs on nothing. So it's not gonna take you anywhere. You're not going to go anywhere in Christianity because it's wrong. They teach you that you don't have to keep the law. They teach you that you can eat anything you want. All you got to do is pray over it. or that Jesus deemed all foods lawful, and they come up with all these different scriptures to try to prove it, and it's wrong, and it's this and that, they say that salvation is for everybody. It's wrong. They don't understand the scriptures, man. All right. Matthew 7:23, and it says, "And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of iniquity." All right, hold on. Let me see. Let me start up. Yeah. Matthew's 7:21. "Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say unto me in that day," which is the day of the Lord, "Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils?" So basically, when you casting out devils and things of that nature, you're doing that in the name of the Lord, and you're telling blessings and curses. In the book of James, it says that this ought not to be so. That you can't mix sweet water with bitter. You can't have them both. You either gotta speak blessings or you gotta speak curses. You can't have them both. So you can't say one thing that's correct and then another thing that's wrong. You can't say, yeah, Jesus is coming back to save, which Jesus is. Like, they're saying it in a way, but it's wrong. Number one, his name's not Jesus, it's Yahushai. And yes, Yahushai is coming back to save. God's son, Yahushai, is coming back to save. But you just said that Jesus is going to do it. Jesus is not going to do anything. Jesus ain't doing nothing, but Yahushai is. So yeah, you prophesied in the name or in a name, but it wasn't the name. All right? And even if you're an Israelite, right? You prophesy in the name, okay, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. But then you turn around and say you can have sex on the Sabbath. And then you say that, Esau will be able to get salvation because he's going to deny his fathers. And he'll have a place in the kingdom. That's off, bro. That's not scriptural. But somebody out there is teaching that. So they're speaking blessings and curses. And it's ought not to be so. So yeah, you're saying you're casting out one devil and bringing in another. And the word devil means deceiver. So you've been deceived by one thing, corrected, and then brought in another deception. So it just can't be that. All right? And it says, "And in thy name done many wonderful works." So you done some wonderful works. We're Israelites. The Lord's coming back and this and that. And then you go off and you're teaching the doctrine all wrong. Backwards as hell. Yeah, you've done wonderful works, but it's all to naught because you don't have the full understanding. And then when the teachers who do have the full understanding try to teach you, you buck up. You go against the grain. And a great example of that is them niggas from Sakari, man. Them niggas are bugged out now. One nigga saying that the name of the Lord ain't Yahushai or Yahweh now. Saying that all nations can be saved now. And the other nigga, he want to be a blogger and be an influencer on Instagram. And those dudes bucked up, man. And now look at them. Verse 23. "And then will I confess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of iniquity." So the whole time you didn't believe you were working iniquity, but you were. So woe to you that desire the day of the Lord, because you desire the day of the Lord, but you're not teaching the correct doctrine. So whole time you hoping to get saved, but you know you're you know you're in snares and traps, man. All right. You know you don't, and you don't understand it either. And when you're trying, and when it's time for you to be corrected, you refuse instruction. Proverbs 12:15. It says, "The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise." So, will you hearken on to counsel? Will you listen to the elders of Great Millstone? Will you listen to the true teachers? That's up to the Lord. It's up to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. But a lot of people are desiring the day of the Lord, don't even understand that they're not right. They're not even trying to get right. They just want to be right in their own eyes. Because they're stubborn, they're prideful, they don't want to take correction. So many people are going to get destroyed because of their own ambitious desires. So with that, all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai.